Welcome to our Resilience by Default podcast. Today we are going to do something a little different. We're going to take a single, really powerful statement and just completely deconstruct it. Think of it as a North Star for operational resilience. You know, that one guiding light that tells you everything you need to know about the mission, the method, and the real scope of what it means to be truly resilient.
Okay, so here it is. Wow, that is a mouthful, right? It's pretty dense, but everything you need is right in there. It kicks off talking about its purpose, to anticipate, withstand, respond to, and recover. It tells you why we do this, to protect people and markets. It lays out how we do it through things like governance and controls, and it specifies what we're protecting, from our own services all the way to our third-party partners. It's basically a complete blueprint. So let's break it down piece by piece.
So first up, let's tackle the biggest and most important question of all. Why? I mean, what is the fundamental point of all this effort? Well, the statement gives us a really fascinating, multi-layered answer that starts small and personal and gets, well, truly global.
At its very core, the purpose is all about action. But what's really key here is the order of these actions. See how it starts with anticipate? It's about proactively looking for what might go wrong. Then you withstand, building up the muscle to take a punch. Only then do we get to respond and recover. That sequence is just so crucial because it proves that real resilience begins way before anything ever actually breaks. And who are we doing all this for? Well, first and foremost, it's for people. The statement is crystal clear that the number one goal is to shield the end users, the consumers, the customers who depend on these services from any harm. It really grounds the whole effort in a very human mission.
From there, the purpose starts to build outward. So, beyond just the individual customer, resilience is about protecting the market itself. You know, market integrity is all built on trust and predictability. When a major organization shows it can handle a disruption, it sends a ripple of confidence through the whole system.
And of course, let's be honest, there's a really vital piece of self-preservation in here. Operational resilience isn't just some noble duty you do for others, it's absolutely essential for an organization's own survival. A big enough disruption can be financially devastating, and a strong resilience framework is pretty much your best line of defense.
And right here, this is the most ambitious part of the why. This is where the statement just elevates the entire goal to a global scale. It's suggesting that when your organization is truly resilient, you're contributing a small but absolutely crucial piece to the stability of the entire interconnected global economy. I mean, that's a powerful and pretty inspiring vision, isn't it?
So that's the why. It's huge, it's profound, which, leads to the next logical question: how in the world do you actually pull that off? Well, the statement gives us a clear answer there too. It lays out 4 foundational pillars that create the framework.
Let's just quickly walk through these. First up, transparent governance. This just means clear ownership. Everybody knows who's in charge of what, from the very top all the way down. Second, proportionate and risk-based controls. This is about making sure your defenses match the threats you face. Don't use a sledgehammer to crack a nut. Third is cross-framework alignment. This is huge. It's about breaking down those silos. It's making sure resilience is talking to cybersecurity, which is talking to business continuity, so they're all working together, not against each other. And finally, continuous improvement, which is maybe the most important one. It's the recognition that this job is never ever done.
All right, so we've got our why, our big purpose. We've got our how, the 4 pillars. Now for that final piece of the puzzle, the what. What specifically are we applying all this thinking and effort to? The statement is incredibly precise about the scope of protection.
So, what's really crucial to see here is how comprehensive this list is. It starts at the top level with important business services, the things that customers actually use, like making a payment or checking a balance. Then it drills down into the critical functions and all the internal processes that make those services happen. But look at that last bullet point, the explicit mention of critical third-party providers. We're talking cloud services, data centers, you name it. It's just absolutely vital in the world we live in today. Because at the end of the day, your resilience is only as strong as your entire supply chain.
So as we start to pull all these pieces together, what we see is that this North Star statement isn't describing some project with a start and an end date. Not at all. It's describing a permanent state of being. It's a continuous journey. And that's really the perfect metaphor for it, isn't it? A North Star doesn't tell you, congratulations, you've arrived. It just provides a fixed point in the sky so you can navigate, no matter how much the landscape around you is changing. This statement is meant to be that constant guide, keeping an entire organization pointed towards the true goal of resilience.
And that really brings us to the final and maybe most critical question that I want to leave you with. After breaking all this down, think about your own organization. Does your approach to resilience feel like a document in a binder that gets dusted off once a year? Or does it feel like a living, breathing culture that is practiced by everyone every single day? Because that, right there, is the difference between resilience on paper and resilience in reality. Podcasts released every Tuesday on Spotify and YouTube. Like, subscribe, and repost. It helps us build the channel and focus on what's important to you. On Tuesday, 9th June, the Resilience Association has its 6th annual summit. This year's theme is Critical Third Parties, Strengthening the Backbone of Resilience. Terry will be there. DM him directly for a discount code.